Mm, it is really hard in media for gay couples to find peace. The trope of bury your gays exists for a reason, and the list of gay characters with a happy ending is short. And yet, many of the best stories about queer love contain some element of tragedy, and this is the world that All of Us Strangers falls into. The film is a British romantic fantasy written and directed by Andrew Haigh, and is based off of the 1987 novel Strangers by Tachi Yamada. The plot focuses on a man named Adam who begins a relationship with his mysterious neighbor Harry. As a love develops between them, Adam finds himself drawn back to his childhood home where his parents live even after they died 30 years ago. Categorizing All of Us Strangers is a difficult task because it falls into so many genres but doesn't fully fit into any of them. Andrew Haigh manages to make a film that feels both indie and high budget. The camera work and especially the lighting are all wonderful at moving the narrative forward. The world of the film feels real enough to exist, but ethereal enough to make the story's more fantastical elements plausible. This all comes down to the technical elements of the production, which are invisibly impeccable. There is so much happening beneath the surface of this film that works together to create an experience that doesn't feel like watching a movie. With such a small cast, every actor gets to eat up their screen time. Of course, Andrew Scott gets the most to do and ties the entire film together as the main character. His performance is filled with such simple honesty, and his character feels heartbreakingly real. Paul Mescal is the simplest character in the film, but he doesn't feel that way. While we don't know that much about Harry, you can still tell that there's more about him that we just don't find out in the film. Mescal has such relaxed charm that the viewer falls in love with Harry right alongside Adam. Jamie Bell plays Adam's father, and his relationship with his son is realistic and is as heartwarming as it is sad. But the best actor in the movie is Claire Foy as Adam's mother. All of Us Strangers understands the difficulties of coming out and dealing with family as a queer person. Adam's mother is relatable to anyone who has had a different relationship with their parents after coming out, but still being relatively close to them. Claire Foy steals the show whenever she's on screen and runs the full range of maternal emotion. Out of the entire cast, she feels like the most genuine in her feelings and actions. Her scenes with Adam Scott are written and acted to perfection, and the last scene of the film almost made me cry. Claire Foy was already one of my favorite actresses working today, and this is just another example of her incredible talent. More than anything else, All of Us Strangers is a film that respects its audience. The fantastical elements of this movie is Adam's ability to interact with the ghosts of people he's loved. Whether these are really ghosts or if Adam is hallucinating is never answered, and it doesn't need to be. Explaining this part of the movie wouldn't add anything and would take away the sense of mystery that makes the film so enjoyable. The film also never tells you that Adam is talking to his dead parents. Andrew Haigh explains that Adam's family died in a car crash and then shows Adam speaking to them. It took me until the second conversation to connect the dots, but it was still a very enjoyable experience, and that moment of confusion didn't take anything away. Almost none of the story is explained to you. The film trusts that you're intelligent enough to understand what's happening, which is extremely refreshing. Jamie D. Ramsey's cinematography is one of the film's best parts. Every scene is framed beautifully and uses light to mysterious and dreamlike effect. The use of close-ups heighten and expand on the already great performances as well. My largest problem with All of Us Strangers is the pacing. This film flies by, which is for most films a compliment, but with All of Us Strangers it becomes a bit of a problem. It was hard to feel Adam and Harry's relationship. Adam falling in love didn't feel built up to enough, which made all of the big emotional moments later on in the film a little less earned. But other than that, the romance elements of this film are great. All of Us Strangers nails queer dating and love in a way few other films do. From their first meeting to talking about going on a proper date, All of Us Strangers will hit home for many viewers in the audience. The score and soundtrack for the movie was creative and was paired well with the editing. The final scene in particular uses music to drive the emotions of the entire film in jaw-dropping fashion, and is one of the best endings of an already stacked decade. All of Us Strangers is a film that manages to be blatantly guilty of the tropes of the gay romance genre, but manages to add its own unique ideas and carry these elements into greatness. Supported by a small but incredible cast, All of Us Strangers is a little film with so much love and artistry put into it, and it'll stick in your mind long after it's over.